Hey guys.
What's up guys?
Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Siah.
And I'm Romario.
And today, well, over the past few months,
yes,
we have finally upgraded our fluted dining table.
Yeah, we painted it and added some resin to it. It's a bit of an upgrade and it's pretty cool. So we want to take you guys out along for the process in case you want to recreate it yourself.
Yeah. So in our first video, like our part 1 of the fluted dining table, we show you all about like how to make it. So if you missed that, click right up here. Start with that one if you want to DIY it yourself.
Yes, for all the details,
Yes.
It's in there. This has a lot of details as well, but it's kind of not going to necessarily repeat what we already shown in the first one. Like the video, and leave a comment down below if you have any questions throughout the process.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Subscribe for more.
Alright guys, hope you enjoy it.
Enjoy guys. Alright guys, so the tabletop is all marked up, ready for construction. I'm going to show you guys where I marked to have that section indented. In between these lines, this section of wood is going to be grooved down or trimmed downward, probably a half of an inch, possibly a half of an inch, or probably a little less than half of an inch. So this deep, so resin could pour into it. So this is going to be gone, and I'm going to fill it all with resin when it's all said and done. So on to the construction. Okay, so it's time for construction. So I was gonna do it by hand using a rotor. I was gonna use this, a plunge rotor. I will put the link for this in the description below. It's definitely it will get the job done. What I'm gonna use instead though is my CNC machine, and I'm going to use my CNC machine because of course it's going to be a bit easier to use it. Instead of me using this to go back and forth to trim down the middle section, I will just be controlling that to go to pass up and down to take out to make the indent basically. So yep. All you gotta do if you're using the plunge rotor is make some guides, like probably put a piece of wood long enough, put it on the sides, and then you put your rotor against it to drill out exactly where you need it to be drilled out. And honestly, you just need a guide for where the lines are. After that, in the middle, you can freehand that. It's going to be easier after you get past the straight lines. So I'm going to set up the CNC machine, make sure that it's in line with this line. I'm going to use a bigger bit, a trim bit if I'm not mistaken. This is going to be this one, and that's 3/4 straight bit. That's the biggest one that I have. If it was bigger, it would have been pretty cool, but of course I'm gonna use what I have. So I'm gonna put this in there, position it, and get to work. I'll show you guys when it's done. So with the process of using the machine, sometimes I guess it gets jammed, and not jammed per se, but it gets a mind of its own, and it continues to run without me controlling it until I stop it. But I don't always know when it's gonna run off on its own, so it made this dent first, and then this one as well. But that's okay, it's not too much of damage, and just for reference, this is how deep it is. This should be 1/4 of an inch, and these are the holes, these are the mistakes. But I will let it fill in with resin, so it's gonna fill the gap, and then we're just gonna paint over it. Make the surface and paint over it so it's gonna be hidden. Alright, now on to prepping this, covering the sides so the resin could stay. Alright, onward we go. So I'm actually going to paint the indent first. I'm going to paint it blue. The same paint that we're going to use to do the whole thing is what I'm going to use. It would allow the resin to have more of the dark effect that we're going for, and it would resemble the color of the rest of the table as well.
Back now, just in time for the pour. Of course, I left Babe to go do all the cutting and stuff. One day I'm gonna get into it though. One day, I promise.
Yeah.
I swear. But it's like therapy. It's like therapy for him. He's like, I'm gonna be locked up in the room. I'm gonna cut some stuff up, whatever. But I'm gonna get into it. But next we have the pour to do, which I'm very excited about. We have this beautiful blue color that we're gonna do on top of this beautiful blue paint. I can't wait to even paint this whole thing. Oh my gosh. But yeah, stay tuned for that, guys. Come with us to pour.
Let's get it.
Let's go. Hey guys, so we're back finally going to paint the base of the table. Just a reminder, we got this dark blue color. It's called Blue Coal. I'll show you. I'm gonna take you along to paint with me. I know y'all usually get Mario, but got me this time.
It's heavy. Famous love. Yeah, I gotta keep it trendy on my soul. I'm the most selfish person that I know. Here we go, down the rabbit hole. Got a couple carrots round my neck. Self-respect, when you out of line, you put yourself in check. They don't hear me, they don't hear me though. Cycles going round and round and round like a merry-go. Stand for truth, or fall for any old scenario. That's why I keep my circle small. cheerio. Cause it's the company you keep. Stay woke, please don't get caught sleep. End up sowing what you reap. Know your worth and don't sell cheap. The ghost is inside of me, can't take it out of me. No matter where I've been, it's about where I'm meant to be. I be shining perfect timing, check your watch. And I know who I am no longer lost. I got tired of walking around with a mask on, smiling but my heart singing sad songs. Yeah, I was living for myself, I was dead wrong till I got the call, no cell phone.
So it's been a few days, well, it's been a few weeks. If I'm being honest, stuff got busy, but here we are, back at it again. I'm gonna finish the tabletop now by sanding it down and getting it ready for paint. Then afterwards, I'm gonna polish the resin section of it so it can become clear and crystal like it is right now before sanding. Okay, so when it comes to the sanding, I'm gonna use sanding pads 120, 150, 220, and 320. So I'm not sure if there's sanding pads in between those numbers, but I mean that's available on the market to buy. But I don't have anything else other than what I just mentioned, so that's what I'm gonna use. But when it comes to best practice, you're supposed to use the sanding pads in the increments that's available. But again, that's best practice. I may not be doing it correct, but I'm gonna use what I have, and that's the 120, 150, 220, and 320. It should do the trick, but nonetheless, best practice, use what's available in the increments that's there. Let's get to it. So I actually went down and used an 80 grit instead of starting with 120 because I needed to get some blemishes off and it was a little bit tough to use the 120 with, so I went ahead and used 80. Right now all of this is smooth. Well, smooth using an 80 grit. I just needed to get everything lined up together. Well, meaning at least flush. Flush is the word I was looking for. And now I'm going to move over to the 120 grit and then continue moving up from there. I'll continue to show you guys how it looks after I use a specific grit of sandpaper until I get to 320, which will be the end. So let's get it. Just completed the 120 grit. This is before wiping it off with the microfiber. Okay. This is how it is right now. It doesn't look too much different, but it's getting a little bit smoother. I just finished the 120 grit. I'm gonna move to 150 and continue moving up. Okay, I just completed the 150 and it's getting closer to as smooth as I need it to be. Okay, let's keep going. 220 complete. Last but not least, 320. Okay, so it's all done now. I'm gonna just take it outside, wipe it up a bit more, and get ready to painting the wood sides into the same blue that the base is painted right now. Alright, time to get it! So this is how it is right now without it being painted. This is with it all sanded down and ready to be painted on each end to match the blue that's on the base, and that's a beautiful blue. The top almost looks the same, almost looks like the same tone of blue. But when this is done, we're gonna put some water or put some type of some liquid on here to bring out the effect of the resin that's underneath. It's trying to escape, but I need some help. All right, time to get to painting. the first coat is done, so I'm just gonna let this dry and come back and do another coat.
Not that being as sexy as it is. Woo!